Trump just rolled out 104% tariffs on China, and the market is reacting very poorly. The people that really rely on China are definitely tanking right now.
Okay.
But if you're out there, you could probably view this as a buying opportunity. I don't know. I saw Rumble was dropping pretty hard today too. I don't know why Rumble lost 10% today. I have no idea.
Wow.
I have no idea. Like I bought once already, and then like to lower my dollar cost average, but then it's like it keeps falling. It's a little scary, but like basically everything's tanking now. Now that the tariffs are here, people had some level of hope that things were going to get better, but for whatever reason, that's not going to be the case. It looks like, quite frankly, things are going to get worse. And, China is tariffs on China set to rise to at least 104% tomorrow, White House says. Now, my hope is that, people like, I'm hoping that these two get together. Yeah, somebody said I bought more Rumble. I'm in it for the long haul. Yeah, I was able to lower my dollar cost average on Rumble to like less than $7. So I'm okay on Rumble. It sure is a far cry from when Rumble was like 14. I was feeling really good. But I think I have like $1,000 left to buy the dip. I think I'm gonna buy Apple with it. Because Apple's down $10 a share again. They're the one that's going to be hit the hardest by the Chinese tariffs, so they're going to drop the most today. So I might swoop in at the end of the day, pick up Apple. My dollar cost average on Apple is $226. So that's $50 a share that I can close the gap. If $1,000 isn't going to do much. I think I only have like 30 shares, or I have like 50 shares. But I'm hoping to lower my average. So I think these tariffs obviously set everything into a bit of a tailspin, but it's going to be interesting to see. I think a lot of people are coming to the table. China's vowing to counter Trump's bullying tariffs. I don't know. How much will this affect the average American? I guess that probably depends on how much it goes down.
Right.
And like how much things continue to drop. I wouldn't buy anything yet until plateau happens. Well, I'm buying in to lower my dollar cost average. I mean, if I can buy at $50 less per share, I still think that's probably a wise buy if you're betting on, Apple being okay. And then when I get paid on Friday, maybe if it's still going down, I'll buy again. We increased tariffs on Japan, and they decided to attack us at Pearl Harbor. Maybe we wanted that. Well, I think Japan is actually one of the people that are coming right back to the table. I'm pretty sure that Japan is like hard coming back to the table. This thing with China is going to be a pissing match, where Xi just does not want to, he doesn't want to relinquish, and neither does Trump. So people are probably going to suffer. People are probably going to take a pretty big beating. What a lot of people are wondering with the stock market, though, is like, is this resetting versus like will it just climb right back to where it was after it left? I don't know. I doubt it. So, people have to be careful about, going too hard about, buying the dip, only buy with money that you have, that you have your play money. But it's definitely interesting to see. Do you remember when like all the Nintendo nerds were like, Trump's things are gonna hurt the price of the Nintendo
Right.
Switch? Then Nintendo Switch came out and said, nah, we're not gonna do that. Yeah, well, the price was set way before that. Like, I just think, what do you make of all the hysteria? I think a lot of it is like bots trying to, use it
it's
against Trump.
I think it's a bunch of bots, but I think it's also people who just kind of have a worrying mindset in general. Because it's just like some people, they don't need a lot to freak out and worry about.
True.
But I think it's just like people are overreacting as a whole. Whether it's like whatever portion is real or not real, they're overreacting at this point. We're not experiencing negative side effects for the regular person right now. People who have a bunch of stocks, which isn't the regular person, right?
Yeah.
So we're not seeing a bunch of negative effects right now. I'm trusting the process. I don't think we have anything to worry about. Now, if our groceries and things like that all got extremely expensive, the housing market got out of control, this, that, and the other, and we are actually going through like Bidenomics level, like, yeah, okay, well then go ahead and start worrying. But I just don't think that that's a thing. I mean, from my perspective, and I obviously don't know a whole lot about this topic, but from my perspective, it's like, okay, so maybe as a consumer, I'll need to buy less things, but these don't seem to be necessities. I'm fine with that. I love saving a buck. I'm cheap. I'm like, hey, I'll go on a spending freeze for a while. Let's go.
Yeah, I think that boomers are driving a lot of the panic too.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that are 5 years from retirement looking at their portfolio and seeing that it dropped 30% or 20%. The market, I mean, look, the market dropped. This is one thing I always try to do to like put things in perspective. I am a layman. I am not, a genius with the stock market, obviously. Right now I'm just buying the dip because I believe companies like, Apple and Tesla are probably going to be fine. Like they're not going out of business. But if you look at the Dow Jones over time, since, it's only ever gone up over time. If you look at 5 years, what happened? Right here, we had a big dip during COVID. And then what happened? It came back up. So we're having a dip now. I suspect in 5 years, it's going to go back up.
Also, if you think about Donald Trump, what is his specialty above anything?
The economy.
And that is economy.
Business,
that's finances, business. It's like we've honestly got one of the most perfect minds for this job right now to fix our economy. So if anybody can do that, it's Donald Trump. People call me a Trump simp. I don't care. I trust him with this kind of stuff, especially. He knows what he's doing. I have full faith in what's going on.
Yeah, and a lot of boomers, not the ones that watch us, are kind of responsible for a lot of this too.
Right.
People are saying you could buy crypto. Well, crypto's dumping too. I've been moving into crypto, just like I'm buying the dip in crypto too. Because I originally bought in Bitcoin at 93K, but now once a month I put in like $1,000. And it's just every grand I put in is lowering my like dollar cost average for it. But I don't have a lot of Bitcoin. I got in too late and it was too demoralizing buying stock at like $100,000 a share. Like it's just too much.
I bought in on some of the altcoins like XRP back in 2020, and it was only worth like 25 cents a coin at that time. And then now it's at over $2. It was up to $3 before the dip. And so it's like, even with this dip, I'm still ahead. Like, granted, I didn't put like a massive amount or anything, but it's like, I like to just I'm not the type that's going to want to be buying and selling constantly. I just like bought some and I'm like, oh, let's just see what happens.
Yeah, that's what most people do. And I think that's okay. Like there's one big change I made, and that is I was building a whole new studio and like an outbuilding at my house. I canceled that just because it was a very big investment.
For sure. At
like an unknown time in history. And to be totally honest with you, like really the company, so I had put $100,000 down on this building. I'm still moving Coffee Brand Coffee into its new building, but I was going to put a building here on my property.
Right.
And I had put all this money down on it like in November, and they still haven't like broke ground. I still don't have a final drawing. So I was like, it's been 7 months. You guys have done nothing with and you have $100,000 of my money that I could have been investing. So I was like, at minimum, I'm waiting till fall. And honestly, I have to wait to see if Rumble renews us. If Rumble doesn't renew us, it's not happening. But I have another room in the house I'm thinking about moving to. But anyway, like, I kind of decided like, well, I want to be able to buy the dip. and I don't want to feel cash crunch. And who knows what's going to go on with prices? And I think all of this will be over in a year. But
Right, I think so too.
that's why I don't want to buy for now and then have a big expense come up where I have to sell my stock.
For sure.
You know, so I'm still putting money in like high yield savings and stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think this tariff's probably going to push the. I think China will probably come back, you know, and push back, and then hopefully they'll come to a conclusion.